Clarity Nation, what's good? What's going on this Thursday? I guess it's Thursday when I do my recording, so whatever. What's good on this Thursday at this recording, or this Wednesday on this drop? This is going to be a good one. This one's going to be talking about challenge, right? As always, which wolf are you feeding? Courage or fear? Right? Now here's the thing. Life is always going to challenge and test us and throw its demands at us. We can't get around it. Right? Now what happens when life challenges us? Well, most people fight, flight, freeze, right? We've got three responses. And what happens when these responses kick in, our adrenaline starts pumping, our cortisol starts pumping. Maybe we're pulling those emotional hand grenades out, creating explosions of emotions everywhere. We're lacking state management, right? Now, there's a number of ways to go about doing it, and a lot of this is bias, right? A lot of it is personal preference. Now, you know me, I don't agree with these challenges like 75 hard and shit. I think they're bullshit. I really do. Right? Because it has no meaning to you. You're not attached to it. You're doing some shit that some dickhead told you to do. Right? Like, that's it. Some dickhead said work out for 90 minutes a day, drink a gallon of water, and do a bunch of shit that nobody wants to do, because guess what? It'll make you tough. Get out there and do it. Nah. Well, there are benefits from jumping into those types of challenges, right? You can test your mental and your physical capabilities. You can build habits and routines, but here's the thing. The end of those people hit the end of those challenges, and that's it. They quit. They give up. They're done. That's it. They've hit their finish line. Checked out. Fuck you later. Right? Like, if it's not gonna sustain you for life, it's not worth it. Right? It's that build and burn, right? You jump into some challenge like 75 hard. You're building. You burn yourself up. You get to the end of it. You're burnt out. Now you're burning yourself down. And guess what? You're right back in the same position that you were before you started, or you might even be further behind at this point now. Right? Our goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, sustainable. That's the one that most of us miss. Now, the more effective way to go about it is to design your own challenges, to meet life head on your terms, right? You can design your own challenge. Say you want to do 3 recovery days a week at 4 workouts. You don't necessarily need to dive in. There's a ton of on-demand workout programs and stuff that you can do, right? There's no shortage of options for how you design this. But when you're designing these things, you don't want to do these like jerk yourself off checklists, right? Checklists are bullshit. You're not looking for a to-do list. You're looking for a to-grow list. You're looking for something that that's going to move the dial forward on your goals, but something that you can sustain. A good example, I lost that last 20, 30 pounds that I wanted to lose. That stubborn stuff around my belly and my bum that I wanted to get rid of, right? And I was wondering if maybe carbs had something to do with it. So I went on more of a paleo type diet called Primal, right? And I did the Primal Diet for a couple of years. Did it help me hit my goals? Not really, but it was sustainable. And I felt great. I had no problem eating Primal. And if I was out with family, out with friends, whatever, and there was no paleo type dishes available, I did not feel guilty about breaking my diet, because I knew it's something that doesn't happen very often. So whatever. Like, you could eat a fucking donut every single day. You could eat 1 donut a day for months, and it's not gonna make impact on you. What's going to make an impact is if that one turns into 5 and you're using donuts to replace your meals or you're binge snacking on them. That's what's going to kill your results. But the food itself isn't going to kill your results. It's the amount of time you're spent shoving it down your pie hole that's going to kill your results. When we define our own challenges and we test our own challenges, we control the intensity, we control the dynamics. We're in control of everything. We could walk away and say, no, you know what? I tried. It's good enough for me. When life sends you challenges, we don't have that luxury of saying no, right? We don't always have those challenges. Maybe it's like some of my family members where they let their health go for way too long and the chances of them actually being healthy again are slim to none, despite their best efforts. Does that mean that they're going to be unable to turn their health around? Absolutely not. I did it. They can do it. But without that drive to actually do it, it's not going to happen. Oh, I wish I did this more throughout my life. I wish I did that more throughout my life. I wish I prioritized this because it's at a point where I just don't even care anymore. It is what it is. Just give me the fucking meds and let me live my life. Right? That's no way for any of us to live. Now, when we're designing our challenges, when we're controlling our challenges and we're making it mean something to us, right? Mindlessly checking off boxes because it makes you feel good isn't going to do anything for you. You need this to be actionable and it needs to test you. And you could design challenges to test you in all the domains, all 5 domains of life at once, right? Mental, emotional, intuition, spiritual, physical. How do I always forget the physical when my life is physical? I don't know. But that's the one that slips my mind the most, probably because that's the one that I am the most confident in. Right? That's what I spend most of my time in lately. So it's easy for me to forget it. My mind works differently than other people. Most people, I think, remember what they're doing more than what they're not doing, but what I don't do nags at me a lot more than what I am doing. So that usually tends to be top of mind a little bit more. Right? So when we decide our own challenges, we are responsible for the intensity. We are responsible for all of it. And we can walk away if we messed up. Whereas we don't have that luxury in life. We don't have those opportunities to walk away in life as much as we would if we designed everything ourselves, right? So now instead of putting yourself in a live fire situation where you're out there in the real world, right? You're out there in the real world throwing out emotional hand grenades, trying to manage your state and do all these different things. In your training and the challenges that you design, you can put yourself in situations that elicit the exact same responses. And you can learn how to control your physiological responses through subjecting yourself to those conditions within controlled environments. Right? Now that you're in a controlled environment, it does something different to our psyche, right? Psychologically, we tend to have, when we feel safe and in control, we tend to have a lot more confidence. Our ego is put to rest a bit more, right? And we tend to have more energy and enthusiasm going into things, right? So you set the parameters around your own challenge. You make it mean something to you. You get away from making it a to-do list just to make yourself feel good. Make it a growth list, things that you actually want to build and work towards, right? And then you measure it and you just keep going. So what happens is you're in controlled environments throughout your training, right? You're subjecting yourself to these different forms of stimuli that would normally send you through a ringer, right? We could throw weightlifting in there as an example, right? Or even the animal flow, the body weight training, right? It's hard. Some days you're not feeling it. Some days to drag yourself out of the bedroom to your spare bedroom or workout room, wherever that is. That could be a lot some days for some people, right? That's a huge resilience test. That's a huge emotional resilience test, just to be able to suit up, boot up, lace up, and get ready to go, right? Following through and finishing your workout when you don't feel like doing it. That's another resiliency test, right? Can you push through? Maybe you're trying to learn a new mace move, right? And that stuff can be very triggering. And I even see it in the animal flow classes. If people can't do a certain move the way they want to, they can beat themselves up and get down on themselves if they don't, say, have the hip mobility to do a crab reach. My guys, bros, I see you all the time doing this. I see you guys when you think I'm not paying attention to you, trying to do the full expression when you're not hitting that 3-point bridge, right? Our egos want us to just do it. But it's a test. It's a challenge of our own design to stay within our own not to stay within our own parameters, but to expand our capacity outside of those parameters so we can handle more. Then when we're outside, when we're facing down life, it's less intimidating, and those what used to be challenging is no longer challenging to us. We're now leveling up. And we're experiencing new devils, because new levels bring new devils, right? But if we're not exercising some amount of control over the challenges and the stimulus in our life, we're not giving ourselves the opportunity to get better. We're not giving ourselves the opportunity to improve and make progress, right? Because that's what we're here for. That's what you're listening for. You're here for personal development. You're here for professional development. You're here because you have untapped potential and you want to perform better, right? If you're not giving yourself the chance to step in those shoes and step into an arena of your own design, to learn how to manage your state, to learn how to manage your physiological responses to stressors, right? A good one is animal flow is a good one for that. Do a small 6-8 move per side flow. Try and rep that out for 5-10 minutes, right? It's more of an it's a strength and endurance type workout, but you can monitor that self-talk that's coming through your head. You can interdict the negative thought patterns. You can bring in mantras and any other number of tools that we have discussed into it. And then guess what happens? You start feeling those same physiological responses somewhere else in life. Guess what? We don't rise to the level of the challenge. We fall to the level of our training. So what happens is those stressors, they meet us in life. We've been training for this. We're now better equipped to handle it and show up as the person that we want to show up as and get through those situations, right? It is such a powerful exercise. Stop doing shit just because the pop kids are doing it, or just because some dickhead on the internet told you to go out and do it, right? Do the things that matter to you. Take the best practices of different things that you've tried and build your own system, right? We can provide frameworks, we can provide guides to help you along the path, but we can't do the work for you. Ultimately, it's up to you to make them work in your life. We cannot babysit you and hold your hand and be there 24/7 to know what's going on in your world, right? We can do everything to empower you. We can give you the tools. We can teach you the frameworks. It's up to you to go out there. It's up to you to apply it. It's up to you to do the work. I could ask you to go to the gym for me and do my workouts every morning, and guess what? You're the one who's going to be getting stronger and more mobile, not me. That's how life works. Design your challenges before life's challenges take you out. That's what I got, guys. If you got somebody who needs to hear this, give it a share. Don't forget to smash that like button. I appreciate y'all tuning in every week. I love seeing this grow, and I'll chat with you guys soon. Cheers.